Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going today? Coach Alvarez here. Back at you with another episode, Coffee with Coach. Bring those mental vitamins to you in the middle of the week. It's Wednesday. Man, it's already Wednesday, middle of the week here. It's crazy. Obviously back in the office, back home. A little short vacation is over with. And I just got a new book in the mail yesterday when I got home. Obviously, when you come home, missing a couple days, mailbox is full. Morning, Laro. So the book I'm going to introduce you to that I'm just now starting to get into is Do the Work. All right. Do the Work. Stephen Pressfield. All right. Check it out. It's a small little read, little book. It's got some jewels in there. And I wanted to, I got three other of his books en route, but this one is the one that came in first. So, you know, obviously I'm excited to just get into it right away. So, again, Stephen Pressfield, I talked about him before, but he talks about resistance. And I want to go right into the introduction of resistance to be so that you're self-aware of it. And you know it's out there. Well, it's out there. You just don't know it's out there in all these different forms. So let's go ahead and get into it, right? So our enemies. The following is a list of forces arrayed against us as artists and entrepreneurs. And I would say just anything, not just artists and entrepreneurs, but it's just anything. All right. So number one, resistance, fear, self-doubt, procrastination, addiction, distraction, timidity, ego, narcissism, self-loathing, perfectionism, etc. So that's why I said you can put this to anything, not just being an entrepreneur or an artist, because this guy, obviously, he's a writer. So second thing, rational thought. And then three, friends and family. All right. So these are, again, the three things he's got listed as forces arrayed against us as artists and entrepreneurs. All right. So let me go into the resistance part. What exactly is this monster? The following few chapters from The War of Art, which I ordered that book as well, it's just not here yet, will bring us up to speed. Resistance, greatest hits. The following is a list in no particular order of those activities that most commonly elicit resistance. Number one, the pursuit of any calling in writing, painting, music, film, dance, or any creative art, however marginal or unconventional. The launching of an entrepreneur venture or enterprise for profit or otherwise. Any diet or health regimen. Any program of spiritual advancement. Number five, any activity whose aim is the acquisition of chiseled abdominals. Any course of program designed to overcome an unwholesome habit or addiction. Education of every kind. Any act of political, moral, or ethical courage, including the decision to change for the better some unworthy pattern of thought or conduct in ourselves. The undertaking of any enterprise or endeavor whose aim is to help others. Any act that entails commitment of the heart, the decision to get married, to have a child, to weather a rocky patch in a relationship, the taking of any principled stand in the face of adversity. Again, these are the greatest hits for resistance. Resistance, greatest hits. In other words, any act that rejects immediate gratification in favor of long-term growth, health, or integrity. Or, expressed in another way, any act that derives us from our higher nature instead of our lower. Any of these acts will elicit resistance. Now, what are the characteristics of resistance? And I'm going to read this to you and then go into it, right? Resistance is invisible. Resistance cannot be seen, heard, touched, or smelled, but it can be felt. We experience it in an energy field radiating from work and potential. Resistance is a repelling force. It's negative. Its aim is to shove us away, distract us, prevent us from doing our work. Resistance is insidious. Resistance will tell you anything to keep you from doing your work. It will perjure, fabricate, falsify, seduce, and bully. Resistance is a protein. It will assume any form if that's what it takes to deceive you. Resistance will reason with you like a lawyer or jam a 9mm in your face like a stick-up man. Resistance has no conscience. It will pledge anything to get a deal, then double cross you as soon as your back is turned. If you take resistance at its word, you deserve everything you get. Resistance is always lying and is always full of crap, but he says another word. Resistance is not out to get you personally. It doesn't know who you are. It doesn't care. Resistance is a force of nature. It acts objectively. Though it feels malevolent, resistance is, in fact, operates with the indifference of rain and transits the heavens by the same laws as stars. When we marshal our forces to combat resistance, we must remember this. I'll read a couple more and then I'll shut it down here. So resistance is infallible, like a magnetized needle floating on a surface of oil. Resistance is unfailingly point to true north, meaning that calling or action it most wants us to stop us from doing. We can use this. We can use it as a compass. We can navigate by resistance, letting it guide us to that calling or purpose that we must follow before all others. Rule of thumb: the more important a call of action is to our soul's evolution, the more resistance we will feel toward pursuing it. Resistance is universal. We're wrong if we think we're the only ones struggling with resistance. Man, that's the good one right there, because I feel like so many people just think like life is out to just get them and no one else, and they're the only ones going through stuff. And obviously that's just not true, because we all are. Again, we're wrong if we think we're the only ones struggling with resistance. Everyone has a body of experiences, or everyone has a body of experiences with resistance. Resistance never sleeps. He goes into, Henry Fonda was still throwing up before each stage performance, even when he was 75. In other words, fear doesn't go away. The warrior and the artist live by the same code of necessity, which dictates the battle must be fought a new day every day. Let me see. Resistance plays for keeps. Resistance goal is not to wound or disable. Resistance aims to kill. Its target is the epicenter of our being, our genius, our soul, the unique and priceless gift we were put on this earth to give, and that no one else has but us. Resistance means business. When we fight it, we are in the war to the death. All right, so I'll leave it there, because then he goes into the second part and the third, which is rational thought, friends and family. So that's really good stuff, man. Like just these first few pages here of just being self-aware of what resistance is and different ways that it's out there. And basically, it's just meant to shut us down. And once we understand that, like he said, we're in a war with it till our death. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are, what you've accomplished, what you've done. Like he said, Henry Fonda at 75 years old was still throwing up, before he went on stage. So we're always going to deal with this stuff. So what is it that we're trying to do? Well, again, whenever we set a new goal, we're trying to get healthier. We're trying to get, financial freedom. We're trying to, get rid of credit card debt. Just pick something. Again, this pertains to everything, not just entrepreneurs and, writers and stuff like that. Everyone is dealing with some sort of resistance. So what are you trying to achieve right now? And then be self-aware of that resistance, and then don't let it stop you. Right now, again, whenever you're trying to get to a higher calling, when you're stagnant and you're not doing anything, there's really no resistance. Again, I think I've talked about it before, where like it doesn't take anything to go backwards. Like, that's easy. When you're not doing anything, you're not growing, you're not trying hard to go to the next level, you're going backwards, even though you think you're staying in the same spot. But the second that you try to go forward, you are going to hit a lot of different types of resistance. Could be just life itself, friends, family members that don't want to see you progress because they're not willing to make those changes that you're willing to make. They don't want you to leave them behind. Again, they talk about this stuff all the time. It's not like friends and family don't love you. It's just they want to keep you where you're at because they like you where you're at. The second you go somewhere else, then obviously they're going to miss you, and that's where the hate and the saltiness comes from. So really good stuff to just be self-aware that, especially the fact that for some people where you think life is just out to get just you and not the rest of us, man, that's a good wake-up call, because it's not. We're all dealing with it in some form or another. It's just we all deal with it differently. Some of us fight it and keep moving. Some of us let it stop us, and then it shuts us down, and then we're right back to where we're at, or maybe in a worse off position. So I'll leave it there for the day. I'll go into the rational thought in the friends and family tomorrow. But just remember, resistance plays for keeps. The goal isn't to wound or disable you. it's aimed to kill you, okay? To kill your dreams, to kill your progression, to kill your growth, to kill whatever it is that you're trying to do going forward. It's not trying to wound you. It's trying to kill that, all right? So don't let it do that. It's a great, great message for the middle of the week. So if you're just not getting things done and the first 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, just haven't really been all that productive, use this here to stop the resistance from winning and get back in the win column. Every day we're either winning or losing. There's no in between. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll catch you on the next one.